And here's a critical thing to understand. The world is changing.
Hey guys, what's up? On a serious note, one thing has been bothering me is that I just realized that the way Biden is acting as a president, the things that he has been saying, like what I'm going to show you right now, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, look at this guy. He has no idea what he's doing.
Then when I inherited the job, when I inherited the coronavirus pandemic, when I first got elected. So the thing that I continue to hope that people will overcome their fears.
No, I'm just trying to say honestly, if I see an old man reacts like that, I feel pity for them. I want to help them. I want to help them survive. I have a feeling they're losing their mind. Why am I the only one seeing this? I know there's a lot of people seeing this, but I mean, if you are in a White House, you're supposed to lead the country. People supposed to follow him. But they can't even trust him, supposedly. But you don't point it out because you don't want him to look weak. But at the same time, he looks weak for everybody. This is the first, look, I'm 40. US has been a country that everybody wanted to be like them. Let's just say at least you have options compared to other countries. But it's the first time that I see a lot of countries kind of waking up and they're like, dude, we don't want to end up like America. This is messed up with all the soldiers' justice. You're the only country that tries to help other country, wasting a bunch of money of taxpayer people's lives to make a different country stable because you are afraid more ISIS or whatever is gonna come out of that country to attack everybody else, right? But you mess it up. 20 years for a bunch of weeks that we find out that Biden even suggested the president or whatever of that country to, hey man, can you keep it on the down low? We don't want you to tell the truth. We need to kind of lie to the Taliban to make everybody make.
Let's read this news. You may have heard. Wow, amazing. From timcast.com, Biden urged Afghan president to change the perception of Taliban's imminent victory, Reuters reports. New details are emerging from the final phone call between U.S. President Biden and the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, with reports claiming Biden urged the foreign leader to change perceptions that the Taliban was winning the war. The call took place on July 23rd. On August 15th, Ghani fled the presidential palace and the Taliban entered Kabul. Since then, tens of thousands of desperate Afghans have fled and 13 U.S. troops have lost their lives, scores of Afghan civilians. Here's a quote from Biden. I need not tell you the perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things are not going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban. And there is a need, whether it's true or not, there is a need to project a different picture. So it sounds like a lot of lies coming out of the White House in these past few weeks. We didn't know it was going to happen. They knew it was happening then.
Oh, that's why you put like the LGBT flag on your embassy? That is like one of the most stupidest decisions. You might even speed it up because like, what? Gays over here? No, no, no. That's what the Taliban might have said. It's so weird.
Commissioner, I really think it all works. I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you say if there's still an acute risk?
What surprises me even more, in the beginning, it started with the border crisis, right? Like they're going to handle it, bada bing, bada boom, and it's just blaming other people. Yeah, it's Trump's fault.
That they were understaffed considerably.
But in April alone, Mr. President, 170,000 people, migrants, apprehended at the border. It's a 20-year record. There are 22,000 unaccompanied children in our country right now. That's a record. That sounds to most folks like a crisis.
Well, look, it's way down now. We've now gotten control. For example, they didn't plan for, which it comes every year, this flow, whether it's 22,000 or 10,000. They didn't have the beds that were available. They didn't plan for the overflow. They didn't plan for the Department of Health and Human Services to have places to take the kid from the Border Patrol and put them in beds where there was security and there were people that could take care of them.
And then a secret tape is gonna come out. And like, what does the secret tape says? Oh my God, we can't handle the amount of people at the border. It's a constant thing. We have an issue. But Trump was the racist trying to build the wall when they kind of had it under control. I'm like, what is happening?
It's unsustainable. These numbers cannot continue. We cannot get to a point where we were a couple weeks ago, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. We're looking at the policy options. We can't continue like this. Our people in the field can't continue, and our system isn't built for it. I know very well, hearing from Chief Hastings, Chief Ortiz, and others, how close we came to breaking, how close you came to breaking here in this sector. And it's our responsibility to make sure that never happens again. We don't get that close again.
This isn't normal. A president cannot be that inconsistent over and over, lying about how many people are coming in. People have to secretly put the camera because you're not transparent about the things happening there. You're so important about people bringing other people. You don't care how they come, the dangerous journey. They might bring other viruses and variants, but you're very strict with your own people. I'm like, what? What's the point?
But I am going to make a commitment in the first 100 days. I will send an immigration bill to the United States Senate with a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people in America. Well, look, I guess I should be flattered. People are coming because I'm the nice guy. That's the reason why it's happening. That I'm a decent man, or however it's phrased. That, that's why they're coming, because Biden's a good guy. Truth of the matter is, nothing has changed. The idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy. Well, here's the deal. They're not.
Now you have an army with a bunch of social justice things. It's not consistent. Now everybody thinks your military is weak. But now you add women to draft or something like that, but you have to lower the quality on how they have to perform. I'm like, why are you lowering the quality if you need experts to maintain all these countries safe? That doesn't make any sense. We have an issue about it with schools in Spain. They're like, what? We can have all these immigrants coming over here and lowering the quality of the lessons, because when everybody qualifies, they need to work, but they can't even handle the machine because they're not intelligent enough to adapt. This doesn't make any sense. You go to a country, you take it over, you leave all your weapons there, and then it's not your responsibility?
Not conduct a hasty rush to the exit. We'll do it responsibly, deliberately, and safely.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not.
Do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam, with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comfortable. Likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Don't you bear some responsibility for the outcome if the Taliban ends up back in control and women end up losing the rights?
No, I don't. Do I bear responsibility? Zero responsibility.
And then it's like you're trying to be critical with him, pointing the problems out, and it's like, yeah, but that's like 4 or 5 days ago.
The 300,000 troops we had trained and equipped was going to just collapse. They were going to give up. I don't think anybody anticipated that.
We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Like, what? So when I cheat with my wife, I can tell her the same thing. What? That was 4 or 5 days ago. Why are you still angry, you dumb woman?
No consensus. If you go back and look at the intelligence reports, they said that it was more likely to be sometime by the end of the year.
You didn't put a timeline on when you said it was highly unlikely. You just said flat out it's highly unlikely the Taliban would take over.
Yeah. I thought was we have to gain control of this. We have to move this more quickly. We have to move in a way in which we can take control of that airport. And we did.
So you don't think this could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way? No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happened.
So for you, that was always priced into the decision?
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. I can't be the only person seeing that.
And do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of an embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comfortable.
I know people have to stay in that country. You leave Americans, nobody's gonna get stranded.
And the small number who remain, we contacted repeatedly over the course of 2 weeks to come to the airport, to come to a rally point.
They told me they had been going to the airport for 2 weeks, trying desperately to get out.
I've picked up 8 green cards and 4 blue passport AMCITs, American citizens, now, as they have been completely abandoned after multiple attempts to get in to the Kabul airport and promises of passage to HKIA. I have a 2-year-old American with lupus. I have a 12-year-old American with diabetes. I have an 8-year-old green card with asthma, abandoned by their government, but not by us.
All troops are supposed to be out by August 31st. Even if Americans and our Afghan allies are still trying to get out, they're going to leave?
We're going to do everything in our power to get all Americans out and our allies out.
And are you committed to making sure that the troops stay until every American who wants to be out is out?
Yes.
So Americans should understand that troops might have to be there beyond August 31st.
No, Americans should understand that we're going to try to get it done before August 31st.
But if we don't, the troops will stay.
If we don't, we'll determine at the time who's left.
And
if there are American forces, if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
Bada bing, bada boom. Marines have died.
Son was one of the Marines that died yesterday. 20 years and 6 months old, getting ready to come home from Jordan to be with his wife to watch the birth of his son. And that feckless, dementia-ridden piece of just sent my son to die. To not say anything about, oh my God, I'm so sorry for the families. So my son is gone. And I just want all you Democrats who cheated in the election or who voted for him legitimately, you just killed my son.
Now you have to pay honor to these people. They're bringing the bodies. But oops, you need to watch because the Netflix show is going to be up.
Joe Biden has been slammed for appearing to check his watch after saluting the fallen Kabul heroes as their bodies arrived back in the U.S. today.
Yeah, they told you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, right? Yeah. I'm like, all jokes aside, people. It just surprises me. I can be the only foreign person that doesn't even live in U.S. and the only images that I get, and I'm like, nobody wants you anymore as a big leader. And the fact that you're not a big leader anymore and people still think you're responsible, you start making empty promises. And we have all these European countries kind of mimicking it a little. Empty promises, because we need to do our best. But certain countries are waking up. France is getting pissed. They're not following the way you're following, right? Spain is changing too. We follow the rules, but a lot of people kind of just ignore you in a way like, don't bother me, I won't bother you, and let's live chill. It just surprises me that we reach a moment in life that this guy is so inconsistent. And a lot of people don't even do their research. He has a son that does weird drugs, all these weird things in Hungary and everything. Nobody knew about it. I don't know. I just find it just so weird that you have a president that failed so many times with empty promises. The president that went in front of our people, come all you South American people, come, you can come here, we will save your life.
If the investigation confirms the claims of the women, should he resign?
Yes, I think he probably end up being prosecuted too.
Arranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss. The VP is known as a close talker. He even does it to the president. Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
I've got a lot of thanks to give out.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I try to be happy, but sometimes I just want to turn this TV off, and you guys can just do whatever you have to do and ruin yourself. I'm actually starting to think like that.
No nation has ever done anything like it in all of history. Only the United States had the capacity and the will and the ability to do it, and we did it today. The extraordinary success of this mission.
I think I'm gonna move from Barcelona just to live the way I used to live, poor, but with a lot of money. You know, enough money to enjoy this poor lifestyle. Like I used to live when I was on my island. I've been very poor, and I'm very blessed right now. But I don't feel blessed in a city. I need to make my own way. But when I see these things on the news, it just surprises me that I'm like, I can't be the only one thinking like this. And if you're like a very left-leaning or Democrat and you think this guy is freaking healthy, he knows what he's doing, this guy is the same guy that says, the Poke, we don't like it because it's not FDA approved. And now it's still not approved, but he's like, yes, you need the Poke. You know, I'm not saying anything about the Pope. All I'm saying is you can't be that inconsistent. You can hate Trump all you like. But if you didn't like his ID, at least he went through with his IDs. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just so surprised that whoever trusts this guy with a big heart, you are very blind. Because if I need a leader and he's losing supposedly his mind, walking off stage, getting confused, and talks weird stuff like, nah man, miss me with it. I don't know, I wanted to just get this off my chest because I've been thinking a lot about it. And I'm just in a unique mood. I hope you guys can let me know what you guys think because it can't be I can't be the only person, right?
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam turloqueta verdeta welcome. Vida mi a tu iniciativa, padre ku indica e também que sung sativa. Te ainda no que acepta ku eta medicina Bob di nang di eta causa rebeldia. Cooking, ainda saki mi kemen.